not very well. For this weekend's DockDogs competition, I'll have that story coming up. Bring it in, buddy. Good job. That's the lamest throw ever. At least I hit the water.
Thursday, Hastings celebrates RiverTown Days, and returning this year are the DockDogs, the Northern Stars competition. Emmy Rosko caught up with the reigning junior Big Air champion and her shelter dog turned Dock Star.
You can try, but you will not find a better name for a dog that does big air competition, one of the 3 disciplines in this weekend's DockDogs competition. I'm joined by McClaine. A dog like Splash makes a big splash, but he also gets big air. You are the reigning, let me see if I get this right, the reigning junior champion with Splash in the big air competition.
Yep.
What's your best?
My personal best with him is 26.3, I think.
26 feet.
3 inches.
3 inches.
Yep.
And how do they measure that?
The dog will jump in from the end of the dock, and then it's wherever the tail meets the butt, so it's basically the tail set.
That's what tail set means. It's where I read that. I'm like, what's the tail set? Okay, it's where the tail meets the butt. Splash clearly loves this toy, and there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
He's just crazy about it. Like, we won't get it back from him until we have to pry it out of him.
Well, tell me why he has a special toy.
Because it's the way that dogs have. They have one special toy, and that's the toy that they're always going to use. They're not going to use any other toy, and they're not going to be as crazy about any other toy.
So he's especially excited to jump far and go after it because this is the special toy.
Yep.
Okay, I get that. I get the dog psychology behind that. So how did you know that this particular dog was going to be really good at this discipline?
We saw him because we foster a lot, and all of our dogs are rescues. So we saw him at one of our DockDogs events, and we're like, oh, he's really cool, and he started jumping off and stuff. And then we were going to start fostering him, and then he was our foster for about a month or so, and then we just adopted him.
He knew how to make it permanent.
Yep.
By displaying his athleticism. So how did you get into doing this in the first place?
It came to our hometown.
Here in Hastings?
Yep, in Hastings, and we started with our hunting dog, Fire. And we were like, okay, we're just going to try it. And then he turned out to be really good, and then we started getting crazy, and we started getting more dogs, and now we're up to 4 dogs. So.
See, you get introduced to it in the Hastings RiverTown Days, and then this is what happens. It becomes a family obsession.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on that 26... I don't even have to ask you, probably 26-foot, 6-inch jump. We'll see if you can better that this weekend.
Yes.
And when we come back, we'll find out about the other canine aquatic competitions going on. This is Splash, this is Lily, and this is Fire. And this family of dogs is going to go practice to get ready for this weekend's DockDogs competition. I'm Emmy Rosko. Come on, everybody. We have to go practice. That story is coming up. Get it, Lily, get it! Whee! Extreme height. Lily is going for height in extreme vertical, one of the competitions you'll see this weekend in Hastings at RiverTown Days. I'm Emmy Rosko. We're going to take you to a training session coming up.
The DockDogs competition returns to Hastings for RiverTown Days.
Well, back in 2007, the canine contest made quite an impression on the McClaine family.
They saw it, they loved it, they tried it with their own dogs, and they're competing ever since.
Emmy Rosko gets behind-the-scenes look at how they train.
That's McClaine. She has a handheld, extreme vertical training rig. It is one of 3 canine aquatic competitions this weekend at Hastings RiverTown Days.
Good boy.
Nicely done. And that is Fire grabbing the bumper, the rubber toy. And Wayne, how did you know that Fire was going to be a good extreme vertical or high jump dog?
We just started working on height with him, and eventually he picked it up, and then he got its rhythm, stride to get the height. So, yeah, that was about 4'6" is where they start out at the lowest.
And then they keep adding 2 inches?
Yep, everybody goes through, and then once everybody grabs it, it goes up 2 inches each time until last dog standing.
So the DockDogs competition hasn't been in Hastings for RiverTown Days in a couple years. But when it first came here, at least a couple years ago in 2007, that's what got your family interested?
Yep, because everybody it's open to everybody that has a dog.
Come on, Splash,
Good boy.
Now, this sport is all in the family, and your daughter Miranda works with Splash. And tell me about her accomplishments.
Well, she ranked #1 last year, and then she went to Worlds and took World Championship for Youth Handler with Splash.
Wow.
And as of this year, right now, she's ranked #1 again.
And she did it with a dog that nobody even wanted.
Right, he's a rescue.
So we've seen Miranda do long jump or big air with Splash. You just did extreme vertical, which is the high jump with fire. And then there's a third competition, and what is that?
Speed retrieve.
And how does that work?
It's basically a drag race. It's how fast they put the bumper at the end of the pool, and it's how fast the dog can get to the bumper and then pulls it off the rig, and then they stop the clock.
So what is it about this type of aquatic canine competition that makes it fun for your whole family? Because it seems like a family affair. Everybody gets involved.
Yep, everybody gets involved. It's actually a great bunch of people to hang out. It's basically another big family.
Plus, it's a great activity to do when you have a river nearby or lots of bodies of water.
Right.
And you can check it out Saturday and Sunday this weekend at Hastings RiverTown Days. Back